All right, shalom, shalom, Israel. It's your brother Kazak Magun. First and foremost, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. We do so by Hashem Yahweh Shai, right? So yeah, I just wanted to do a video on this article I just seen. You know, it was just published today by CNN. A lot of us, we know who CNN is. For a long time, CNN has been a mainstream source of, news information. So this article was written by Scotty Andrew, right? So it says, it rained fish over a Texas town this week in a bizarre weather event. So, hey, it's raining fish out here, man. It's showing the signs of the times, man. The Most High said, be aware of the signs of the times, right? Let's grab a precept. Salakia. Second Esdras chapter 9 and verse 1. It says, he answered me then and said, measure thou the time diligently in itself, and when thou seest part of the signs past, which I have told thee before, then shalt thou understand that it is the very same time wherein the highest will begin to visit the world which he made. Right? So he said, measure the time diligently. Right? So, when you're seeing these bizarre events, when you're seeing these world tragedies or these rumors of wars and all of these things, you got to understand that these are signs of the times, and that it's showing us that the time that we're gearing up to, which is the day of the Lord, we're gearing up to those days. Let me see, I might want to verse 3. It says, therefore, when there shall be seen earthquakes and uproars of the people in the world, then shalt thou well understand that the Most High spake of those things from the days that were before thee, even from the beginning, right? So the Most High, he spake of those things, right? He told us all of these things. He told us that he was going to do these things, and now we're seeing them come to pass, So I want to grab a quick precept. Is it Matthew 13 and 16? Come, right? This is Matthew 13 and 16. It says, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear. For verily I say unto you, that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see. So all the prophets of old, our forefathers, our foremothers, they desired to see these things that we're getting ready to see. They desired to see, the Lord coming with the chariots, and the thousands of heaven, like Enoch prophesied. Enoch, he desired to see these things, and he might be on the earth today, might be back here on the earth today, because the Lord said that, he would send forth leaders, but, Salakia. What was I saying? Oh yeah, so our forefathers, they desired to see these things that we are getting ready to see. They desired to see these major prophecies. They desired to see the second coming of the Lord. They desired to see, the martial law and the Jacob's trouble and the chariots coming and beaming us up. They desired to see these things, man. Right? It says, and have not seen them, and to hear those things which you hear and have not heard them, right? So, hey, we blessed to be able to be living in these exciting times, man. We truly blessed to be living in these exciting times. But let's go back to the article, right? So it says, it's raining fish in East Texas, but it's nothing too out of the ordinary. Earlier this week, residents of Texarkana reported small fish falling from the sky in what seemed like an epical weather event. The reality was more mundane The swimmers, many of them palm size, were likely picked up by a water spout and dropped back down to the earth. To earth as it lost momentum. The city told residents in the Facebook post. Yeah, and that's just Esau trying to cover up, the glory of the Most High. Esau is gonna, he's gonna try to provide, some scientific reason, to try to explain, these these divine events. He's trying to put a scientific reason to explain these divine events. Just like he did with the Big Bang Theory. You know, it's the same thing. He's just trying to cover up the glory of the Most High. You know, because he doesn't want you to believe that there is a God out there, right? But we see in the Bible that the Most High, he said that he would do wonderful works in the last days, right? So like, let's go to the book of Sirach. Right? It's the book of Sirach, chapter 36, and verse, I'm going to start at 3. Right? Because the Most High is just showing his power. The Most High can make fish rain from the sky. Right? Esau is blaming it on water spouts. How did the fish, get up out the water in the first place? The Most High, this is all the works of the Most High, man. Right? There's no explaining this. It says, before today, I never heard of no water spout. No water spouts just being carried in the air. I never heard of that. It says, lift up thy hand against the strange nations. Sirach 36 and 3, it says, lift up thy hand against the strange nations, and let them see thy power. As thou wast sanctified in us before them, so be thou magnified among them before us. And let them know thee, as we know thee, as we have known thee, that there is no God but only thou, O God. Right? So, hey, we pleading to the Most High, telling him, hey, let these nations know you as we have known you. All the punishments that we had to face, that you gave us, all the wondrous works that you done showed us, hey, show them that too, by destroying them, putting these plagues on them, show them these same things, right? It says, show new signs, right? Show new signs, right? And that's what the Most High is doing. He's showing new signs, but really this not nothing new, because the Most High did something like this before. It says, show new signs and make other strange wonders. Glorify thy hand and thy right arm, that they may set forth thy wondrous works. Right? So the Most High, hey, he's glorifying his hand and his right arm right now. Right? He did the same thing in Egypt. Let's go to the book of Exodus. All right. That's not that I want. Exodus chapter 8. And I'm going to just start from the top. Excuse me. Exodus chapter 8, verse 1. It says, and Yahweh spake unto Moses, go unto Pharaoh, and say unto him, thus saith Yahweh, let my people go, that they may serve me. And if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs. Right? So, hey, the Most High, he threatened Pharaoh, saying that he will smite all Pharaoh's borders with frogs. Meaning what? He'll cause frogs to come upon all the land. And frogs is a aquatic animal, man. So they live in water. But the Most High said he had caused them to come on land, all over the land. Right? It says, and if thou refuse to let them go, behold, I will smite all thy borders with frogs, and the river shall bring forth frogs abundantly, which shall go up and come into thine house, and into thy bedchamber, and upon thy bed, and into the house of thy servants, and upon thy people, and into thy ovens, and into thy kneading troughs. Right? So the Most High said he'd have frogs be everywhere, man. The Most High can make it rain fish. The Most High could bring frogs upon the land. Hey, the Most High said he was going to make wild beasts change their places, man. Right? We're going to get that next. It says, and the frogs shall come up both on thee and upon thy people, and upon all thy servants, right? So the Most High sent frogs upon, the Egyptians, man. And the Most High can make, fish rain upon these Egyptians because, this is modern day Egypt. As you can read about in, matter of fact, let's just grab it. Let's just grab it. Better to be about it than talk about it, right? This second Esdras chapter 15 and verse, I'm gonna start at 10, right? It says, behold, my people is led as a flock to the slaughter. I will not suffer them now to dwell in the land of Egypt, right? Because right now, America is spiritually Egypt, as it says in Revelations 11 and 8. This is spiritually Sodom and Egypt. This is the land of our captivity, right? It says, but I will bring them with a mighty hand and a stretched out arm and smite Egypt with plagues as before. And look, this is how you know this is not talking about ancient Egypt, because it said, I will smite Egypt with plagues as before, right? Meaning he's going to do this in the future tense, right? This is speaking about America, Babylon the Great. It says, as before, and I will destroy all the land thereof, right? So like, it was more on that. Egypt shall mourn, and the foundation of it shall be smitten with the plague and the punishment that God shall bring upon it, right? So, we see that the Most High is getting ready to do things in the earth, right? Let's go to the book of 2nd Esdras chapter 5 and verse 8, right? Because this is what we see happening, right? A fish is a wild animal or a wild beast, So it says, this 2nd Esdras 5 and 8, it says, there shall be confusion also in many places. Because, this is confusion right now. It's going to grow. It's going to grow. But, fish raining out of the sky, that's confusion. Race wars and rioting and all of that, with the George Floyd riots and things like that, it is confusion in many places. And all those things are going to grow and they're going to come back in a big way, especially in these last days. It's going to be like the Rodney King riots, times 1,000, But it says, there shall be confusion also in many places, and the fire shall be off sent out again, and the wild beasts shall change their places. Right? So the Lord said the wild beasts shall change their places, because what is a fish doing in your yard? What is a fish what is a fish even doing near your yard? What is a fish doing in the sky? You got fish that jump up out the water, but fish don't, fall out the sky like rain. That's wild beasts changing their places, man. This is the work of the Most High. And Esau, you trying to cover it up like the devil you are. It says, and menstruous women shall bring forth monsters. Right, so let's go back to the article. Let's watch the video. Damn advertisements, man.
Security video at Discount Wheel and Tire in Texas shows heavy rain coming down on Wednesday afternoon. But to the surprise of many, more than water was falling from the sky.
Then I guess it started hailing.
Yep, wind blowing, rain, hailing.
And it could have been the fish slapping the top of the roof with little he's here too.
Yep.
That's right. It was raining fish in parts of Texarkana.
I didn't know what to say. I thought it's pretty cool. I started getting me a bucket and start picking them up and using them for fishing bait.
They're kind of fishy.
And look at that. Those not pint-sized fish, man. They small fish, but those are those decent-sized fish.
Here went from installing tires to removing dead fish from the parking lot.
You see them all laying out there? They shine.
Miles away on Magnolia Street, Jeannie Tucker was out this morning checking for fallen fish in her yard and on top of her house.
I couldn't believe it.
So and they said miles away from that other location. It was miles away. So this was happening over that whole city. Over this whole city, the Most High had fish raining out of the sky. You know, this is nothing but the works of the Lord, man. You know, so like, let me see if I can find this precept. Let me see, is this what I want? Salakia, bear with me. I'm gonna just get the account in I'm gonna just get an account in Exodus. Salakia. Right, so this is the book of Exodus, chapter 16. And I'm gonna start at 12. I'm gonna start at 11. It says, "And the Lord and Yahweh spake unto Moses, saying, I have heard the murmurings of the children of Israel. Speak unto them, saying, At even ye shall eat flesh, and in the morning ye shall be filled with bread, and ye shall know that I am Yahweh your God. And it came to pass that at even the quails came up and covered the camp, and in the morning the dew lay round about the host." Right, so the Lord had quails come up in the even. Right, he had quails, just come out of nowhere. The Most High can do these wondrous works. It says, and when the dew, so like in verse 14, and when the dew that lay was gone up, behold, upon the face of the wilderness there lay a small round thing, as small as the hoarfrost on the ground. And the children of Israel saw it. They said one to another, It is manna, for they wist not what it was. And Moses said unto them, This is the bread which the Lord have given you to eat. Right, so the Lord, caused manna, to appear, like the dew on the grass, man. So the Lord can cause these things to happen. Right, so Salakia. Let's go back to the article.
I don't know when it happened. I've never seen it before. So I've been tore them all apart. There's a lot of just pieces, like heads and bodies without the heads.
Never heard of that before. Never really heard of it happening.
Michael Berry with the National Weather Service out of Shreveport says, although rare, this event does happen.
The only way that I'm aware of how that could produce these small fish falling from the sky with a thunderstorm would be some sort of a water spout having sucked.
And you see, he kind of winging it. He don't know what the hell he talking about, man. He's kind of winging it right now. He's just saying anything.
The water and anything in the water up into the cloud base.
Berry says this was the first time he's seen it raining fish in the Arklatex.
You see that? But that's that's basically all I wanted to touch on. You know, if you could want to check out the article, like I said, you can go to CNN. You know, it says it rained fish over a Texas town this week in a bizarre weather event. So with that, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh. Ba'ashem Mashiach, Wamalak Yahweh Shai. Oh wait, you know what? I'm gonna grab one last precept. Because the only way to gear up for the times that's coming is to stack up on wisdom and knowledge. Otherwise, you're gonna be, caught out here. You know how they say, caught out here with your pants down, man. You know. But this Isaiah 33:6. It says, "And wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of the Lord is his treasure." Right. So wisdom and knowledge is going to be the only thing, that's gonna and fear of the Lord, is going to be the only thing that's gonna, basically help you in these last days, man. Besides the Lord's grace and mercy, But with that, I want to give all honor and glory to the Most High Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. Shalom.